Hey everyone, it's John here from Hot Take Hockey, back with another video. This video is on a couple PTOs and just some NHL news in general. I think it's kind of funny that a few guys that I feel like were guaranteed contracts, or at least seemed like they were guaranteed contracts, are still not signed, and they might be headed towards PTOs. And one depth guy that I thought was going to definitely get signed and get a contract, and there's rumors the Leafs were interested in him, is Aston-Reese. So Aston-Reese gets a PTO from Toronto. He'll attend the Leafs training camp. And also other news, Dekeyser gets a PTO with the Vancouver Canucks. So for people that don't know, PTO is a professional tryout opportunity. So professional tryout contract. So no long-term commitment. I wouldn't even call it a contract. That's why it's called an opportunity. But a pro tryout. And I think for a guy like Aston-Reese, he'll get a contract. I'm confident in that, whether it's with the Leafs or another team. I think Aston-Reese would fit perfect in Toronto. And I think you can go a couple different directions. But the one direction is, if you could still trade Kerfoot or have an opportunity to trading Kerfoot, you could have a top line, as we talked about, Bunting, Matthews, Marner. Second line, Robertson, Tavares, Nylander. Third line, Engvall, Kampf, and Jarnkrok. And a fourth line of Zach Aston-Reese, Adam Gaudette, and Abe Kubel. And in that scenario, you have a lot of speed on that line and a lot of defensive responsibility and very hard on the forecheck. Both Aston-Reese and Abe Kubel really good on the forecheck. I think Gaudette still has something to give. And honestly, at the end of the day, you could sign another depth center and cycle Gaudette in that center. I also think you could cycle Jarnkrok at the center, and you could cycle Engvall. So there's guys you could cycle. You could always slide Engvall down. You could slide Kampf down to the fourth line, worst case scenario. Move either Jarnkrok or Engvall to the center spot, and give other guys opportunities. You also have got like a guy like Steves is there, so guys like Steves and like a few other guys that are there. So it's interesting. I think Aston-Reese will be really good on the penalty kill. If the Leafs were to sign him. Again, this is just all hypothetical, but I do think he's going to get a contract. I would think around $1 million. I think also the situation is the Leafs probably advertised for Aston-Reese that, like, we have a really good spot for you, but we don't have the cap space right now. Obviously, the Sandin situation, are they going to trade Kerfoot or Hull? And I think, honestly, I keep talking about it. Like, if you can move Kerfoot and Hull, like, sure, you don't want to be a Vegas and just make it known that you're giving away players for nothing and not assets, but at the same time, when it comes down to it, the cap hopefully will go up in a couple of years. You might just have to soak giving one of these guys away for the cap space. So, like, look what Minnesota did. Minnesota gave Kulikov away. It might just be the case where the Leafs have to just give away Justin Hull. And I promise you, it seems like Hull's a great guy off the ice, but I wouldn't cry about it. So, the other part about this is interesting. Would the Leafs not give Aston-Reese a contract and still potentially trade Kerfoot and just go for one of the younger guys to get an opportunity and rely on Nick Robertson in that top six? Canucks with Dekeyser is interesting. I mean, the Canucks have a lot of options on defense right now, but maybe not a lot of great options. The Hurricanes also just added to the conversation. They gave Calvin to Haan a PTO. I'm also remembering that. So that's an interesting option for Carolina. Carolina did have DeHaan on their team for, I believe, a season. I actually thought DeHaan could be a great fit for the Canucks, just in terms of what they're looking for, but they go the route of bringing it into Dekeyser, and I really don't think Dekeyser's going to get much if he gets signed, like $750K. And I think, I was looking at his player card from Mr. Fresh, and I think it's kind of funny. I think his one stat, or his one area of, like, a positive, I would say, aspect is the penalty kill. So if Dekeyser could just be on the penalty kill for the Canucks, but again, bottom pair guy at most. So give me your thoughts, guys, on this situation. I just wanted to have some chats just quick, but it's interesting. So Zach Aston-Reese maybe to the Leafs. We'll see if Danny Dekeyser signs with the Canucks, and we'll also see if Calvin Haan signs with the Hurricanes. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys in the next video stream or podcast. Look out for it. Peace.